a black woman called Kitty Talks, or I can't remember what her page is, but she's pretty well all over TikTok, and she gives like dating advice and things like that there, but she's a born again Christian. And today a post had popped up on my YouTube, and it was a Zoom call that she had. It was like a Zoom teaching session, and she was talking about God expanding the territory, or stretching out basically the 10 pegs, expanding, and what that means, and what it was actually for, and what actually it meant back in the day, and what it means spiritually. And she started talking about all of the and it was Genesis 5, all of the sons of through Noah's sons, and how they stretched out and how they become all the people all across the world, basically Asia and Greece and Europe and all these sorts of things. And she talked about the blessings of there's a particular son called Shem, and Shem was where the lineage of Jesus came through, and the blessings of that, and how all the other brothers took over other bits of the land, but they all were drawn back to Shem, and the blessings of Shem that went on to all the other people. And I started to think about this when she was talking about the blessings that we can partake of through other people's lives, through other Christian friends. What her actual point was, we're like the people of Shem, and when people come into contact with us, they should see the character of Christ and the love of Jesus, and then they can benefit off the gospel of Jesus Christ, the freedom that comes through that. And we are to be like the light and the salt, and they're to get the benefit of that, and that's we're supposed to be a reflection of Jesus, and how we can reach out to all these other people in the different nations that actually maybe believe in different gods and things like that. And she went through that, but it was great actually, and I think she's a whole part series on it. But I started to think about this in the wedding that I'm going to, and my friends they're getting married, they just got married, I've been to the service and all, and they're having this marvellous day that they celebrate and set up as a memorial to God, and we'll do every year and celebrate their anniversary. And the blessings that I can partake of in their life today as being part of their wedding, because they have decided to get married and invite me to partake of that. And I could have said, no, I don't want to go, but because God is always a gentleman, he always invites you, he'll never make you go. And it's the same thing, they invited me to come, they didn't make me come, they didn't say, Emma, you have to go. I could have said no, but I want to partake of their blessings. They've paid for a meal for me, and I want to partake of all of the benefits and the blessings that God has given them today in their marriage, and I can benefit off that. And I started to think about, and I had read in the Old Testament about the foreigners that lived inside the Israelite camp, and how God instructed them to feed them and to welcome them and look after them, even though these people were not Jews. And I started to think about this, and how even God instructed, even back then, the Israelites to look after other people, bring them in, eat with them, join with them, let them benefit from the milk, the honey, the olive oil, the grapes, all of the first fruits of the produce. They were able to partake and have the benefits of the Israelites' land and food. And God does not change, and those promises are always fulfilled. God says something, he's going to do it, and that still manifests in our lives today. I can still have the benefits of my pay package through the job that God gave me. I can still have the benefits of relationships with people because of Jesus Christ in them, or just family. God's blessed me with family. If your brother and sister have a big house and a big barbecue, and they're inviting you for a barbecue, you can benefit off their food, their time, their company, their children. We are to use our things in our life to benefit other people, and to let them feel the blessings that God has given us. And we're supposed to be hospitable. It says that, to be hospitable in the New Testament. And show grace and mercy and love to other people. They don't deserve it. They're allowed to partake of this. And I just was thinking about that. I just thought that was really lovely. And I'm so glad I've been able to go to their wedding today. The sun has come out. It's lovely and warm, actually. And now we're on our way to get our food. And again, I'm going to enjoy myself. We'll have a bit of dancing. I'll enjoy myself. She's a good Christian girl. She's a bit crazy. She's like my vibe. She's full of joy. She's alternative. She's wearing like a pair of white Converse specifically designed for her wedding dress instead of wearing heels. And she danced down the aisle on the way out. So full of joy from God. And that reflects in her. She doesn't care what people think about her. She knows who she serves. She knows who she is. She knows she's a child of God. And even the joy in her face benefited me today as she walked out of the church and down the aisle, singing and praising, waving her flowers above her head. And that has just really blessed me. There's weddings that I'd gone to before, and I reflected about this, and the weddings were not, God did not take too kindly to me going to those weddings, because it's not what he had designed for people. With the type of partnerships that were going on there, but this was a beautiful wedding, and they preached God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, prayers that were done, the praise and the worship was great during the service, completely different to any traditional wedding I've ever been to, and I'm just so grateful to God today for allowing me to experience that. And the things that I've gone through in the past 2 years, a year ago I could not have sat in a wedding and been okay in my mental health, in my emotions, but I sat there today and I am healed, and I can raise my hand and say, God, you're with me all the time. You've healed my heart, because I'm able to sit in this church and witness a wedding and not be angry and not be bitter and just enjoy it. Benefits of other people's Christianity. So have a think today and think about the benefits that you actually get of other people, and do you benefit other people? I'm not talking in a selfish way, I'm talking in a Christian way. Are you hospitable? Do other people benefit off you? Your joy, your faith, your positivity, your blessings on them? Food, company. Is your company good company? That's just a thought for today. And you can go and look at those scriptures whenever the Israelites moved into the promised land and they were set up camp and tent, and how God instructed them to look after the foreigners. He always instructs them to look after the foreigners. He wants everybody to come into him and have benefits of him and know his love, not being hateful towards each other. It's not God's design. So there we go. Have a blessed day, because I'm about to go and have a